turns out that Iceland has been named the most feminist country in the world.
Congratulations. You are now the most feminist country in the world!
Except in my opinion, this isn't feminist at all. In my opinion, this is taking feminists a step back, okay? So let me tell you why. So strip clubs and prostitution are now banned in Iceland, okay? You can't get a lap dance anywhere, you can't go see strippers. Any type of business where women are being sexual or sexy or anything like that has been banned, okay? You're not allowed to go to a topless restaurant or a topless bar, none of that stuff, no nudity.
Right. Women are allowed to be generally sexy. If they want to be, you know, a sexy nurse, nobody's going to stop them.
Right,
but you can't take off your clothes in any way, shape, or form.
Right, exactly. So, you know, first of all, I didn't know this. Iceland has the most female politicians. All right, and they're seeing this as a huge victory because they're saying women are no longer going to be exploited for their, you know, for their bodies, and, you know, now this is a step in the right direction when it comes to equality between men and women. I don't buy that. I think that the great thing about the United States is you have the choice. You have the choice to go into stripping. If you want to be a stripper, as a woman, you should have that ability. If you don't want to be a stripper, as a woman, you should have that ability. You get to make that choice. And another thing is, if you're going to ban this, if you're going to ban prostitution and you're going to ban stripping, you think it's going to stop? Hell no, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
In fact, it's going to continue, except now the government isn't going to be able to regulate it, and they're not going to be able to keep the women safe. It's going to be even more unsafe for the women. Right.
You know, look, first of all, I totally agree, right? Although they did a poll in 2007, which really surprised me. 82% of women, this is in Iceland, 57% of men support the criminalization of paying for sex, either in brothels or in lap dance clubs. So 57% of men in Iceland at least claim that they are against strippers, right? And only 10% of Icelanders were opposed to banning these things. So I'm really surprised by those numbers. So that's what the population of Iceland believes. I mean, they're a free country. They can do that. Now, having said that, I'm with Anna. I mean, I'm an American. I believe in freedom. The freedom to strip and the freedom to engage in sex acts for money. Okay, guys, girls, whatever. I mean, it's not my business. It's their business as long as they're exercising free choice. Now, of course, the feminists would say, and the people in Iceland are saying, it's not free choice. They're, you know, they're on drugs. They're this, they're that. But you're making a lot of assumptions. And I'm not comfortable as the government making those kind of assumptions.
Yeah, one of the assumptions in this particular article included a female politician who went to a strip club and she said, oh, the strippers look so unhappy.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly right, Anna. I was like, how do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And you remember I praised Iceland because they had the first lesbian leader ever, okay? Iceland's prime minister, Jóhanna Sigurðardóttir. I don't know why I tried to pronounce her name. And I was like, oh, that's hot, that's cool, right? No, it's not hot, but it's cool that everybody's open-minded, etc. And that, you know, 50% of parliament is women in Iceland. Again, really cool, etc. Now I'm beginning to see the downside of it. As one of the, now I'm playing about that part, but as one of the strip club owners said, look, what is this, Saudi Arabia? The right wing in a lot of countries, whether it's Muslim countries, Christian countries, etc., want to ban strip clubs, etc., because they're judging people's lives. Now, in this country, the left wing is judging us and etc., and want to ban this stuff. And I agree with them. And it turns out in Iceland, I wouldn't be a lib talker. I'd be like, you know, maybe I'd be the Bill O'Reilly of Iceland. Let him go! Let him strip!
I don't think that this is a lib stance at all, though. Because the whole, I think, in my opinion, being a liberal means supporting choice. And supporting freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Iceland, you listening? Okay, that's a real lib. Okay, no, I'm 100% with Anna.
Yeah.
Iceland, think about this, okay? Take it easy, take a break, okay? And think about it again. And I say, at least let us have the Icelandic strippers.
Have you seen all the TYT videos from today? Check out the Young Turks YouTube channel. Do it already.